Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing bad time. Doing bad time. Got myself a problem.
She asked me maybe if I could share her sorrow for all the men that tried to treat her wrong. You're just a baby awaiting her tomorrow. It's rock me baby all night long. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can. Everybody else, you know, it fills her with compassion. That's why she tries to save the world alone. She helps the needy in her own fashion and tries to give them all her own. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can. Rock me baby all night long. 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 Rock me baby all night long.
I think I messed up, growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth.
feels to be loved. All I want is you. All I want is to be from somewhere. An address for me and you. Sometimes it feels impossible to get along. Yes, it feels impossible to get along. Again, I'm living with my family. Again, I'm feeling blue. Again, you've made me question our love. Again, with you, sometimes it feels impossible to get along. Yeah, it feels impossible to get along. Sometimes it feels impossible. So now I sit alone in silence, waiting to hear from you. I pray there's something left inside us. If it's broken, I've got some glue. I'll fix it all for you. Fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. It all for you. But it feels impossible to.
Live from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sports World Radio. We got a jam-packed show for you. I am your host, Jeff Ascow. Thank you for being here on New Year's Eve, I guess, or New Year's Eve night. It's still the afternoon here where I am and where Sean is, but 7:05 on the East Coast, so it's New Year's Eve starting over there for you guys. Thank you for joining us for the last show of 2013. Like I said, it's jam-packed. A lot of stuff to get to. Before we do all of that, you can listen to Sports World Radio on SportsWorldRadio.com, also on Spreaker.com, as well as HonestAnswerRadio.com. Follow us on Facebook over there on facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also on Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio, and there's no O in world over there on Twitter. If you're going to follow us on Twitter, it's SportsWorldRadio without the O in world on Twitter. If you want to get in touch with the show and you have Skype, you can listen to us on Sports World Radio, and over there you'll see a little red button on the left-hand side that says Call Now. So why don't you do that? Call now, ask us a question or anything you want, only if you have Skype, though. It'll direct line right to the show. With all of that being said, we're also on iTunes, peeps. Subscribe to our iTunes channel. That's right. Head on over to iTunes and never miss a show from Sports World Radio, and that includes our NFL Real Talk that we do during the NFL season, which we do every Saturday night, 10 p.m. in the East, 7 p.m. on the West, which we will be doing this week. With all that being said now out of the way, what do you say we bring in the co-host, our good friend Sean Mann, the update man? What's going on, bud?
I'm doing fine, Jeff, and welcome to the last day of the year, December 31st, 2013. It is New Year's Eve. Out on the East Coast, it's 7:07 p.m., which makes it 4:07 p.m. on the West, and then tomorrow is New Year's. Happy New Year to you, Jeff, and to everybody, Smoking Ronnie and Browning, Master. Good to see you all here.
Yeah, we're taking tomorrow off. We're going to take one day off, and then we'll be back on Thursday. Look at that, Smoking Ronnie in the house, and all the other peeps. Andrew's here, I'm sure. Myth is around somewhere. Thanks for being here. We're going to do the show tonight, take off tomorrow, excuse me, and be back for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So with all that being said, Sean, what's the first topic of the day?
The first topic of the day, since I'm getting really tired of talking about the NFL and the Cowboys, we're saving everything for Friday's show. We start in the NBA. Stan Van Gundy, the NBA coach, he ripped into the Nets. He called them a, quote, the Bush League organization in a radio interview Monday.
That's because he's not coaching them.
He's not coaching them, but he brings up a good point, Stan Van Gundy does, because he knows very well that the Nets are not playing good basketball. They're 10-20, and you know what? The Nets are becoming the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. Everybody's talking about them because everybody says, oh, they're supposed to be good, and now they're not because they went out and spent the money on Garnett and Pierce and Jason Terry. And Jason Kidd is the coach, like we've said, has no clue what he's doing.
Well, of course. Well, we knew that going in. We all knew that going in. And Stan Van Gundy could say anything he wants. He pretty much, excuse me, can kiss that job goodbye.
He goes, quote, I think with all the injuries, it's been hard to evaluate Jason Kidd. It's been easy to jump on him, not just because of the record, but the things coming out of their locker room. The situation with Lawrence Frank, the incident of spilling the drink on the floor, Van Gundy told NBC Sports Radio.
You know what? He doesn't really know what's going on in the locker room. He's an observer just like the rest of us. He's an outsider. He doesn't know what's going on in the locker room, does he?
Yep.
No, he doesn't, does he?
He has no idea because he's observing it.
Exactly. So that's his opinion. And like opinions, everybody's got one. You know?
He added more. He goes, quote, I mean, this has looked like a Bush League organization much of the year. They don't play with much effort at all. A very uninspired team. But at the same time, they had so many people hurt, you just don't know.
See, he's contradicting himself. Twice. Because the first quote that you read, they said earlier that you read, said that they have a lot of injuries and they haven't gotten to play together, correct?
Yeah.
Now he's ripping the team, and then after he ripped the teams, he follows up with the same thing. Well, they've had a lot of injuries, we really don't know. So he's contradicting himself twice in the same freaking interview.
Part 3 of the interview, he goes, quote, you can do whatever you want with the coaching situation, but it's not going to change the situation with their roster.
He's cracking me up, man. He's cracking me up. Smoking Ronnie in the house.
They just don't have a lot of options.
No, they don't, and they're stuck because you know why? They spent all that freaking money on that team. They got nowhere else to go now, and they're stuck. And there's no way they're going to change coaching right now. They're going to keep him for the season. I don't see them getting rid of him. You can't bring in a rookie coach who's never coached in the league before and then fire him because he's not doing a good job. What did you expect?
what I expected and knew was going to happen is after they signed an old Kevin Garnett, an old Paul Pierce, Jason Terry.
Those are your
They had
boys.
that trade with the Celtics, that just doomed the Nets. I said, they're not going to be good.
Those are your boys, man. Those are
Yeah.
your boys, right? Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, man. Those are your boys. Come on.
Yeah.
You're ripping your boys, huh?
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind that it was clearly a win for the Boston Celtics. Why? Even though they're 13-18 and lost to Atlanta this afternoon, they're building. They're just deciding to say we're going to clean house and start going for NBA draft picks. And you know what? Saying it as a Celtic fan, sure, they're 13-18. I hope they start losing a lot more games because then they can go right to the NBA draft and they can start getting whatever players they need to make their team stronger in the upcoming years.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I
don't see it happen, but I agree with you.
Think how long it took for Doc Rivers to finally get to the NBA Finals in 2008. He had to build that team. 04-05, they'd gone 45-37. Then 06, they went down. 07, they went way down. And then when Pierce and Allen and Garnett came together, the big three, it changed everything around for that team.
I've been watching freaking college basketball all day today. It's a beautiful freaking thing. You know that?
Yep, and well, you got to be happy about it, Jeff. We're only just a couple months away from March Madness.
Believe me, this is like a March Madness kind of a day for me. I've had one channel on, ESPN2, watching basketball all day long. It's freaking beautiful, man. Freaking beautiful. Yeah, I love it. It's great. I'm watching Memphis and USF right now. Tree. This game just started. I just finished watching Louisville smack UCF.
In the NBA standings, to get everybody caught up, it is the last day of the year. You got Indiana Pacers starting in the Eastern Conference. They're 25-5. Right behind them, the number 2 seed, it would be Miami. They're 24-7. Atlanta playing better. They're 18-14. But then 4 through 8, all the teams are 500 or below 500.
No games on TV tonight?
Not that I know of.
There's Portland and Oklahoma City on NBA TV tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern.
Portland and Oklahoma City, I got to tell you, Jeff, that could be a playoff
That's
preview
a nice
right
game
there.
right there. How about that game right there, huh? That's a nice freaking game right there.
And who would have ever thought that Portland would be so good?
Not me.
I didn't expect them to be 24-7. And I'll say it right now. Browning, I know you're here, but I'm saying the Western Conference is a lot tougher than the Eastern Conference. And if the Heat even get to the finals, it's going to be very tough for them to beat whoever they play in the Western Conference. There's a lot of good teams right now.
Oh, yeah. You got Brooklyn and San Antonio playing right now, and Sacramento and Houston playing right now. So those are the only games going on right now. The rest of the games are all final, and then there's one game yet left to go on. As soon as we go off the air, that game will start. A lot of stuff going on in the NBA. The Knicks, which thank God, finally they're doing it. They're set to waive Chris Smith, guard Chris Smith, who happens to be J.R. Smith, his brother.
Mm-hmm.
So they're finally waiving that son of a bitch and getting rid of him and opening up a spot for a real basketball player. They only did that because it was in Chris Smith. It was in J.R. Smith's contract. Can you believe that? He had that in his contract for his brother to be on the team. How ridiculous is that?
Very ridiculous. Well, the Knicks are trying to do what they can, but the Knicks need to do something that you've been wanting them to do for a long time, and I have been wanting them to do for a long time. Fire Mike Woodson. He just doesn't seem to be the ideal fit for them. The Knicks need to go after, like you said, a George Karl or a Jerry Sloan or somebody else who can really – George Karl would be perfect because he had the connection with Carmelo Anthony in Denver.
Right, and if you want Carmelo Anthony to stay, you better bring in George Karl.
You got to remember too, back in 04-05, the Nuggets were 17-25, and they had Jeff Bezdelic. They fired him, and then they brought in George Karl, and then they went 32-8 in the final. What do you say, 40 games, and then they turned it around, and Denver played San Antonio pretty hard in that 05 playoffs.
I know. You don't see George Karl much. You saw him on Christmas when they had those 5 games on. He was one of the guys doing the games for ESPN, but you don't see him much. You'll see him at the table and stuff like that. I would like to see him as the head coach of the Knicks. I really would. I've been pushing for it for 2 years. I'm going to still keep pushing for it. It's either him or Phil Jackson. One of the two.
I just look at the Western. I'm looking at the standings now. You know, I know we're talking about the Knicks, but what a powerful Western Conference it is. Phoenix has improved. Houston with Dwight Howard, they've done well. Rivers is really doing a job with the Clippers, 21-12. Dallas, you knew Mark was not going to accept another year of not making it to the playoffs. They're 18-13. Dallas could make a lot of noise. And, Smoke and Ronnie, you're a Timberwolves fan. Minnesota's hanging in there, too, for that 9th seed, but they could catch a couple teams, too.
Minnesota's not a bad team. They're young now. They're really young now, aren't they?
Very young.
They're super young, aren't they?
Yeah, and that, like you said, Smoke and Ronnie, and me too, the Eastern Conference just sucks right now. Browning, you better just hope and pray your Heat can even get past Indiana. I don't see Miami repeating next year because Miami knows that they will not get past a Western Conference team. They were lucky to get past San Antonio in June. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening.
The Western Conference, there's going to be some teams that have been left out of the playoffs. They're going to be highly upset. Because that division is so strong. The West is so strong. I mean, many crickets. Look at Oklahoma City and Portland. Blammo. Okay? Golden State. Oh, my Lord. Okay? Sacramento. Houston. 1, 2. Right? There's, not Sacramento, but Houston and San Antonio. So there's Houston and San Antonio, Golden State, Portland, and Oklahoma City. There's 5 teams I just named right there are probably playoff teams, right?
Right.
What do they send? 8?
Yeah.
So there's only room for 3 more teams. Houston, San Antonio, Golden State, Portland, Oklahoma City, the Clippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's only room for 2 more teams. Hello?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That Western Conference, anything could really happen. And don't count out Dallas. And the team that's not doing well in the Western Conference, and Magic Johnson even called it, is the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
13-18, they're done.
Right. They're finished. I mean, come on. That's just crazy. I just gave you 6 teams right off the top of my freaking head in the West. Okay?
They're all good.
And what about, Phoenix? Don't forget about Phoenix. And
they're improved,
right?
19-11.
Right? Phoenix and Dallas right now. Those are your playoff teams right now. But anything can change. I mean, come on.
Absolutely, Jeff. When you look how great the Western Conference looks.
I mean, Minnesota's right there. You know what I'm saying?
And teams that we saw this year in the playoffs that may not be there next year. We know the Lakers aren't going to be in there.
Right.
Memphis, they're falling apart. And Denver, with Brian Shaw as their coach, they're falling apart too.
There's your 3 teams in the West. Correct?
Yep.
Now, so it's usually 6 teams in the NBA, 3 from each.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So look at the Knicks, man. They're floating around. Them in Philadelphia sitting in there in last place. One game behind Brooklyn, who's in 3rd. And they're only 5 games out. How does Toronto? Toronto's leading the Atlantic Division. That's just ridiculous in itself, man. Are you kidding me?
In my opinion, Jeff, it doesn't matter who wins the Atlantic Division because the way I look at it, they're going to get thumped.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know what? It doesn't matter who wins the Atlantic Division. It doesn't matter who wins the Central Division. And it doesn't matter who wins the Southeast Division. It's going to come down to Miami and Indiana, ain't it?
Yep.
And that's pretty much
and Indiana's different.
Yeah, I'd like me to knock them out. I really would.
I really think Indiana has a very good chance to beat the Miami Heat. They beat them in the first game in Indianapolis, Indiana, and the Pacers should not have lost to Miami in the second game. Miami got very lucky to win the second game in Miami. I'm sorry. If I'm a Heat fan, I'd be saying, I am happy that we've won 2 championships, but in the Eastern Conference, we got a threat in Indiana. And we thought at the beginning of the season, Jeff, that Chicago was going to be very good. The Bulls have fallen apart because Derrick Rose got hurt.
Hey, I'm calling for a realignment in the West. I want to realign 2 teams. I want to take the Portland Trailblazers from the Northwest and stick them in the Pacific. And I want to take Phoenix from the Pacific and put them in the Northwest.
Those are good choices. Yeah.
Okay, because Phoenix is not in the Pacific, first of all. Portland's in the Pacific as far as I'm concerned, which is on the line with California, because the Pacific's got the Clippers, Golden State, LA, Sacramento. Portland would fit in there perfectly.
Yep.
Right? It's all up and down. Boom, 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 boom. Phoenix is Arizona. Arizona's not in freaking California. Portland's not in California either, but it's on the same time zone. I'll put it to you that way, where Phoenix is not. And Phoenix should be with Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver, and Utah anyway. So I want a realignment. Calling for NBA realignment in the West, please. Northwest and Pacific. Switch Portland to the Pacific and put Phoenix in the West.
That's a good topic you brought up there, Jeff, because I believe the next commissioner should consider making changes with the alignment. And I'm glad that we're going to, just like the NBA Finals, I'm glad they made changes there. Whoever the next commissioner, because David Stern's going to be done in February 1st.
Correct. And the Southwest in the West is fine. You got San Antonio, you got Houston, you got Dallas, you got New Orleans, and you got Memphis. That's perfect. All you got to do is switch those 2 teams, Phoenix and Portland, and now you got a real nice lineup. Over in the East, Washington doesn't belong in the Southeast. They belong in the Atlantic with Boston, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, New York, and Washington. Take freaking Toronto and stick them somewhere else.
Browning goes Jeff Escal for the NBA. LOL.
Southeast is... Look, the Southeast has got Miami, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Orlando. That's beautiful. And then you got Washington in there? What are you, freaking nuts?
They don't belong there in that division.
No.
I'd put them in the Atlantic division if you ask me.
Right. I agree with you. They go into the Atlantic division. But then you got 6 teams in the Atlantic. So you got to take Toronto and move them to the Southeast, and Toronto don't belong in the Southeast. So,
yeah, there's some changes that need to be made for the NBA realignment.
I don't know how you can do it because the Central is fine. The Central's Indiana, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, and Milwaukee. So the Central's fine.
Just a few little other tweaks or changes would do the trick.
Well, you really can't tweak this East because Toronto really belongs in the Atlantic with Boston, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and New York, but Washington belongs there too. Mm-hmm. Washington belongs there more than Toronto, but you can't stick Toronto in the Southeast because Toronto's in freaking Canada.
Yeah, and it's, in my opinion, NBA basketball is not big in the country of Canada. Canada is more of the hockey sport.
It's the only team. It's the only NBA team in Canada.
Remember, there used to be the Vancouver Grizzlies, and of course, that's the only other team I remember, Vancouver Grizzlies.
That
then
was
they moved
the only
to
other
Memphis.
team. Right, it was the only other team. Then they moved to Memphis. They were smart. They got out of freaking Canada. Toronto's still hanging around. I don't know what for, man.
Yeah, it's more of Toronto is more of a hockey city because they really, enjoy their Maple Leafs, and of course that country of Canada is more hockey than NBA or MLB or NFL. If you ask me,
You wanna move them to America? Move them to United States. Move them to Buffalo.
Another possibility, maybe move them to Las Vegas. I know Las Vegas has been kind of looking for an NBA team.
No, you can't move them out of the East. You got to keep them in the East. You got to keep them in the East to keep everything balanced.
You're right. Or maybe move them to Maine or move them to some other eastern place. I don't know.
Move them to freaking Buffalo.
How about Baltimore?
Well, Baltimore's Washington, isn't it?
Yeah,
Baltimore's close to Washington, right?
Yeah, I'm just coming up with ideas.
You're brainstorming. No, that's fine. You're brainstorming. I like that. But Toronto?
I don't know how long they've been out, the Toronto Raptors in existence. I'd have to...
Look at Smoke and Ronnie beating up on freaking Andrew about the Heat. I love that.
I've been beating him up on him, too.
That's great. I love that. I hope they change the way they draft because I'm getting tired of watching it. You gotta move. You can't move Toronto out of there. So I guess you gotta leave the East alone. But fix the West for me, you rat bastards, will you? Getting tired of that crap. Hey, really quick. Really quick. Saturday, right? Is it Saturday?
Yep, Saturday.
Saturday, the Colts play Kansas City, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know that they still need to sell 7,000 tickets or that game will be blacked out in a 75-mile radius from the stadium?
I didn't know that.
How crazy is that, dude? And because
they better get it done in a hurry. Well, Saturday will be here before you know it.
Normally they get Normally you get 72 hours prior to kickoff to have the blackout. But because tomorrow is New Year's Day, they're giving them until Thursday. Okay? So they got till Thursday to sell 7,000 tickets. Otherwise, the people who live in Indianapolis won't be able to watch the game on TV, a playoff game. How crazy is that?
And they have between now and Thursday, Jeff. And I think that, in my opinion, that's crazy because everybody's out tonight. They're going to be partying, and they're probably going to be just hung over tomorrow because it is New Year's. And everybody's oh, shucks, we got to get our tickets because Saturday's big game is here.
They have till Thursday, 4:30 p.m. local time. Local time. Okay? And the tickets are priced from $56 to $155. They got to get rid of 7,000 of them. Otherwise, the Indianapolis Colts Kansas City Chiefs playoff game will be blacked out in Indianapolis. How crazy is that?
Very nuts and very crazy, and they better get the tickets sold and get for 7,000.
How would you like to be a guy that can't go to the game because he can't afford it, but wants to watch it on TV and can't because the game isn't sold out, it's blacked out? Huh?
I'd be upset. I'd be really angry if you ask me.
Would you be pissed off?
Very irked.
I'd be upset like a son of a bitch. If that Cincinnati Chargers here in San Diego and they didn't sell it out and it was blacked out and I couldn't watch it, I'd be fit to be tied.
I'd have to go probably watch the game on my computer. Watch the game on my computer.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd watch the game on my computer for sure. But I'd be pissed that I couldn't watch it on TV. Are you kidding me? I'd raise a stink hole.
That's what I'd do.
Hell yeah, man. Are you kidding me? Hey, let's go to the only update of the day and the last one of 2013. This update is brought to you by Keurig Coffee Machines. That's right. If you're looking for a great coffee machine, you're a coffee drinker or lover of coffee, then head on over to Keurig.com. Brewing perfection, one cup at a time. Take it away, Sean, man, with the only update of the day.
In the NHL, here was the one final from today. The New Jersey Devils, they beat the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 2-1. In other news to report from the NHL, here are the games in progress. Rangers-Florida Panthers game is in overtime. That game is tied at 1. The St. Louis Blues and the Minnesota Wild. The Blues lead 2-0, second period, with 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the second period. With 9 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first period, the Boston Bruins lead 1-0. The Montreal Canadiens have a 2-0 lead against the Carolina Hurricanes. And with 9 minutes and 54 seconds in the first period, the Buffalo Sabres lead 0 between Buffalo and Winnipeg. Here's some other news to report from NHL, other games. Los Angeles Kings at the Dallas Stars. The Columbus Blue Jackets against the Colorado Avalanche. The Dallas...
Hey, Sean. Hold on a second, man. Every freaking time lately that he's been going to the update, we've been getting a wacky connection from Skype. There you go, buddy.
San Jose Sharks against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Philadelphia Flyers taking on the Flames. And the Edmonton Oilers against the Phoenix Coyotes. Now tomorrow, since we're off, there will be 2 games in the National Hockey League as we kick off 2014. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the Winter Classic. It'll be the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Detroit Red Wings, and the other game, it'll be the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Vancouver Canucks. In the NBA, we had a lot of finals from this afternoon. In Boston, the Atlanta Hawks came back from a deficit against the Celtics, and they took it 91-92. The Indiana Pacers continue to roll at home. They are 15-1 at home right now. They're 25-5 in the Eastern Conference. They take the game 91-76. In Orlando, Florida, the Golden State Warriors, they prevail by a score of 94-81. Here are the other games going on right now. With 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining down in Houston, Texas, it is the Sacramento Kings and the Houston Rockets, 17-14 Kings. It is 24-18 San Antonio Spurs against the Brooklyn Nets. Other games, the Toronto Raptors at the Chicago Bulls. Portland Trailblazers at the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is what Jeff and I really called the game of the night. And the late game tonight, it'll be the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. In the NFL, we've only got Wild Card Weekend coming up, and we won't be talking very much about that. However, some NFL headlines for you. Jacksonville Jaguars to let Maurice Jones-Drew test for free agency. The New York Jets have decided that they're going to look at other quarterbacks despite Geno Smith improving. And Jerry Jones says he is in no rush for call on Kiffin and Callahan. Tebow says, I'm not done with the NFL despite the NFL job. So he still says that he believes he has a future left to continue in the National Football League. In Major League Baseball, with this year coming to a close, one kind of big story headline, the Astros reliever Jesse Crane has agreed to a 1-year deal. For your update for Sports World Radio, I'm Sean Mann. Back to Jeff Eskow, host of Sports World Radio.
All right, that update was brought to you by Keurig.coffeemachines.com. Coffee lover, are you? Coffee machine, are you looking for one? Head on over to KeurigCoffeeMachines.com. Brewing 1 cup of coffee at a time. All right, so what do you say? Hey, you remind me when you mentioned something about the World Classic coming up, right? NHL's World Classic. Don't they got 3 different games this year?
I am not sure, to be precise.
I believe they got 3 different games this year because I'm looking at an article right now. They have one in Ann Arbor, Michigan, right?
Yes.
Okay. They've sold, they've sold 105,500 tickets for that game. If everybody goes through their turnstiles in that game, they will set a new world Guinness record for the largest crowd to watch a hockey game. Right now, the largest crowd to watch a hockey game is 104,173. Okay? It was set Michigan State versus Michigan, the Big Chill game at University of Michigan in December of 2010. This one they've sold over 105,000 tickets for. If everybody shows up, they'll set the record. It's between Detroit and Toronto. Okay?
That's right.
So they have one between the Rangers and the Devils at Yankee Stadium. They have another one between the Penguins and the Blackhawks at Soldier Field. And they have another one between the Kings and the Ducks at Dodger Stadium. And then they got one in Canada, the Canucks and the Senators at BC Place. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
I think it's pretty incredible what Gary Bettman. I can agree with him here. I think it's a good decision for hockey to play outdoors in the cold and with the snow, and it's great for the sport and it's great for the community and for the fans. I like it.
Okay, so the Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs game is sold out. The New York Rangers and the New York Devils game has sold out, and the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, the Devils-Rangers game is at Yankee Stadium. The Penguins-Chicago Blackhawks game is at Soldier Field. Okay? The 3 other games haven't sold. The 2 other games, the Kings and Ducks game hasn't sold out, and the Canucks and the Senators game hasn't sold out. Oh, I'm sorry. And the Rangers and Islanders game has yet to be sold out as well. So you only have 2 games that are sold out. Actually, the Red Wings in Toronto, Penguins and Blackhawks. Rangers and Devils. Rangers and Devils sold out. So there's 2 games at Yankee Stadium. Rangers and Devils and the Islanders and Yankees. Islanders and Rangers. No, that can't be. Well, I'm misreading it. That's okay. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Oh, I see what it is. The New York Rangers and Devils game last time sold out, but the Rangers and Islanders game this year has not yet to be sold out. Okay, gotcha. Fixed it. There you go. That's pretty crazy. So they're having 3 freaking of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freaking Winter Classic games. That's freaking pretty awesome, actually, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with what Gary Bettman did. I remember January of 2010, the Boston Bruins played Philadelphia Flyers, and it was on NBC Winter Classic. Watched it, and Fenway Park was packed and sold out. The Bruins won the game in overtime, and yeah, great for the community, great for hockey, and great for the fans. That's one thing I can agree with Gary Bettman about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I kind of like watching those games. I'll watch and check in with a couple of them. Hey, you know another thing really quick? Your man, one of your favorite quarterbacks of all time, Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
He got a new gig, got a new job.
Yep.
How about them apples? He's going to be playing for ESPN. He's going to be doing some analyst work for the SEC Nation when it debuts in August. But he will be doing some work for ESPN, appearing Monday, January 6th, for the BCS Championship game on SportsCenter in the morning, on College Football Live in the afternoon, and College Football Day before the game between Auburn and Florida State. How about that? He's out of football. What did I say? Once again, one of my predictions has come true. Unbelievable. Your man, Tim Tebow, out of the NFL. But it does say in the article that in his contract, if an NFL team does come after him and pursues him, he can leave his job and go play in the NFL.
Yeah, well, I kind of have forgotten about Tim Tebow until now, and I was like,
so is everybody
well,
else.
Maybe it's a good job for now. We'll see.
Else. That's why he's going to be on TV broadcasting instead of playing.
Jeff, I got something for you.
Uh-oh.
Your thoughts about this. The Jaguars in my update said that, hey, Maurice Jones-Drew and fought for free agency.
I
Your
seen
thoughts?
that today. I saw that today. I was like, yeah, about time. Jags to let Jones-Drew test free agency. Big deal. He's
Well, what if
beat
he
up,
went to the
man.
Giants or to the Chargers?
He is beat up. He ain't going to either of those teams. They got. He might go to the Giants because they need running backs, but he ain't coming to the Chargers. They are beat. He is just beat up. That Jags team just beat him up. He's
Well, you
beat
got to
up,
remember
man.
all the drama that was happening with Maurice Jones-Drew and all the fines that he had because he said he wanted to be traded,
Dude,
and then
he
he wouldn't
can't-
come, and then he got fined $30,000
He
a
can't
day.
handle Coughlin. He can't handle Tom Coughlin and the rules. There's no way. He can't do it. Can't be done. Won't do it. I don't see him doing it at all. Interesting point, but I don't see him doing it. I don't see him going to the Giants. I don't see him going to the Chargers. What about going to the Patriots?
I don't think the Patriots would want him. The Patriots are fine with their offense. They just need to improve their defense. It has to be sharp now.
Better be sharp now.
I don't want to talk too much about them. Anyway, he said this. Actually, he has battled injuries throughout his career.
Wussy.
He missed the final 6 games of the 2012 season with a right forearm injury and had 4 injuries this season. A sprained ankle in training camp, a fractured right thumb. He's gotten beaten up and he's been injured, and I don't see anybody who would want him because he needs to be healthy and ready.
Wussy. He's been beat up. Crap out of him. They ran him and ran him and ran him and ran him and ran him.
Breaking news. We know that the wild card games have happened. They'll be happening this weekend. There could be 3 teams that could face blackout. Jeff, you were talking about the Colts. The Packers fans have little faith in this year's team. How else to explain why, as of Tuesday evening, there were 11,000 tickets still remaining, according to a team spokesperson for the Sunday's NFC playoff game at Lambeau Field against the 49ers?
Does that game get blacked out?
Possibly.
How great would that be if it's so good? I thought the NFL was #1 sport in the world. I wonder how many blackouts the NFL had this year.
I don't know.
That would be good for you the next day.
Sure.
Find out how many games the NFL had black. I know the Chargers had at least 1. How great would that be if you had 2 playoff games, the Colts and the Packers, especially the Packers, because the Packers are pretty much owned by the fans. Especially the Packers game. How crazy is that?
Another team that could also be facing a blackout, Cincinnati Bengals.
Whew. Playing the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know something?
What?
If I remember correctly, when Cincinnati came out here to play the Chargers, because they played this year, Cincinnati came out here to San Diego, I believe that game was not on TV out here. I didn't get to see that game. How about that? How funny would it be if San Diego goes to freaking Cincinnati and gets blacked out? I'll be able to watch it because I'm here in San Diego. It's an away game for me. I'll get to watch it.
Browning just said it better not be mine. No, of course not, Browning. You're good. I know the Philadelphia Eagles, they'll sell out their game against New Orleans. But, yeah, that's what they're saying. The Packers, they got 11,000 tickets remaining. You
That's
talked about the
freaking
Colts.
awesome, man.
With the Bengals, Jeff, you know how many tickets are left? 10,000 tickets.
With the Bengals?
Yeah.
So the Colts got 7, the Bengals got 10, and the Packers got what, 12?
11.
11? That's freaking awesome, baby. Awesome. Way to go, NFL. Hey, Roger Goodell, you're doing such a good job. You can't even sell out playoff games, you son of a bitch.
The Packers, of course, here's some news. They added 7,000 seats this season behind the south end zone,
Yeah,
bringing capacity at Lambeau to 80,750.
How many of them have obstructed views? Huh? Check
I
that
don't see
stat, boys. How many of those seats that you just put in there have obstructed views?
Mm.
Am I right?
Yeah?
Okay. Because I know owners don't give a crap about obstructed view. All they care about is the dollar. Point in case, Super Bowl, whatever it was, at Dallas Stadium where a couple of fans were sitting right in front of a pole. Or a beam, a beam. Obstructed view. Way to go there, Jerry Jones. Good ownership, good building of the stadium, and good general managing skills there, buddy.
The waiting list for season tickets was more than 100,000 people before the seats were added. So Green Bay's added some new seats, but now they're having a conflict because their game may be blacked out, and they have 11,000 tickets remaining.
How great would that be? Who they playing?
Green Bay's playing San Francisco on Sunday.
Green Bay and San Francisco on Sunday. I hope it's windy, cold, snowing like a son of a bitch. That's how playoff football is supposed to be played. Huh?
The frozen tundra of Lambeau.
Yeah, I mean, that's how football's supposed to be played, right?
Right.
Especially the playoffs in December, right? December,
Yes.
January, cold son of bitches.
Well, you got to keep in mind, this is the rematch of last year's NFC wildcard game, but we'll save that for Friday because we got to give out our picks there too. But yeah, the blackouts are causing a conflict because can people afford it? Maybe, possibly, or possibly never, because tickets in the playoffs are very expensive.
Yeah, who the hell wants to go to a playoff game and freeze their ass off, really, when you can watch it on TV? Come on.
Yeah, best seat in the house. There you go.
Come on. I mean, that's how you got to look at it. I mean, you got those diehard fans that'll be out there freezing their ass off with no shirts on, bunch of schmucks.
They don't and waving around.
Yeah, a bunch of wacky sons of bitches. Bunch
And
of
NFL
morons.
rules also say teams must sell out games at least 72 hours prior to kickoff to ensure they will be shown on local television.
Right, but with the holiday this week, they're giving them an extra day, so they're giving them until Thursday, in their time zone. So
better get something done. But people are going to be out celebrating and probably forget to buy their tickets because then tomorrow people will probably be hungover and because they were up having too much bubbly.
well, we'll find out. We'll find out either by Thursday, either we go on the air, or Friday when we're on the air. We'll find out how many games are going to be blacked out. How great would that be? You had 3 playoff games blacked out. And if that's the case, man, I'm going to laugh at the NFL.
Laugh at Roger Goodell again, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
because he's saying that the NFL is the America's sport, number one sport. Everybody can't wait to go to an NFL game. They can't wait for the NFL season. Oh, my God, this and that. They go crazy when the season winds down, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can't even sell out playoff games, can you, Roger Goodell? It must not be doing that well after all, is it?
Yep.
Wow. Just wow.
NFL, yeah, you're really doing a good job. No, you're not, because you're screwed up with all the blackouts. And yeah, I think you're right, Jeff. When Cincinnati played at San Diego, that game was blacked out in San Diego.
It sure was. I live here. I know. So it's going to be interesting seeing how many they get away with it, or if the NFL decides just to lift the blackout because they can't bear to have the bad pub.
Well, I call Gary Bettman president of Moron Island, and I call Roger Goodell the vice president of
Getting
Moron
close. He's getting close, ain't he?
Island. Yes.
He's getting really, really close, ain't he? Wow.
I wonder what it would be like to have him on the show and ask him questions like that and how he'd handle it.
We'll find out when we get there. We'll find out when we get there. What else you got?
So yeah, that's kind of the breaking news in the NFL. And other news in the NFL, the New York Jets are saying We like Geno Smith, but we're going to start looking at other quarterbacks.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Rookie Geno Smith started every game and improved late in the season, but apparently not enough to earn a commitment from the Jets as their starting quarterback for the 2014 regular season, which will happen in September of next year.
Oh, God. Here we go. It's going to start happening, ain't it?
Yeah, the Jets have got quarterback concerns. They don't know what's going to happen with Mark Sanchez. They don't know what's going to happen with Geno. A lot of rebuilding, but the Jets need to improve their defense because their defense has not been good like it was the last few years.
Did you really bring up Mark Sanchez? He's not even on the team anymore.
No, yeah, I did bring up Mark Sanchez, not on the team.
He's not even on the team anymore. Why would you even have them discussing Mark Sanchez? They cut his ass.
Yeah, 2 great years, and then everything's just kind of gone downhill for Mark Sanchez.
Few great years. He had a couple of mediocre years with them. Few great years. What the hell's the matter with you, you old Jet fan, you?
Too much Coca-Cola.
Unbelievable. What are you, getting ready for New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to celebrate the new year.
What are you, okay, we're getting to the end of the show. What are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm going to watch the Bruins hockey game after the show and then have some bubbly.
Have some bubbly?
Yeah.
Have some bubbly.
That's right.
What kind of bubbly are you going to have?
Some champagne.
You are going to partake some champagne?
Yes.
Are you old enough to drink alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure there. You're going to partake in some champagne. So
yes.
you're staying home.
Yep, staying home. I'm not going out tonight. Everybody fires off their fireworks to celebrate the new year.
No, you know what it is? It's amateur night tonight. You know that, right? Amateurs who don't drink during the year are out there drinking tonight, man. It's amateur night. Are you kidding me?
No, you're sitting in your studio tonight.
I'm staying right here and ain't doing a damn thing.
What do you mean? You're not going to go to turn on your TV to ABC or CNN and watch the little ball drop in Times Square?
I'll do some of that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay right at home. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not going out on the road. I'm not getting amongst those people. Those drunken fools are crazy. You're going out tonight, because it's still kind of early for everybody. If you're going out tonight, drinking and driving, don't drive. Call a cab and have them come pick your ass up smart.
Well, it's just going to be like that for the Super Bowl. You know people are going to call in sick because they'll be drinking and driving when the Super Bowl is going on and everybody gets together with their family.
Well, see, you know what?
Friends.
You know what is a good thing about it is tomorrow's a holiday. Nobody's got to work.
No, everybody's going to be watching the college football bowl
games.
Not me. Watching that.
Not me. The day after the Super Bowl, people got to go to work. It's not a holiday. It's different. So you can get drunk tonight and sleep it all. If you are drinking tonight, please don't drive. Call a cab. Call a family member. Call somebody who's sober to come and pick your drunk ass up. Okay? Please. Be safe out there. Because there's a lot of people out there that don't drink during the year, that'll drink tonight, and they'll be out there driving, and blammo, slammo, whammo. We don't want that to happen to you. So be safe. That's all we're saying. Our last show of the year, huh, buddy?
Last show of the year, and then 2014. Hard to believe.
2014, huh?
Yep.
Wow. We've been doing this show together for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah?
Wow.
I have a blast all the time with it.
I don't drink champagne. Let's pop some champagne.
Yeah, let's pop some champagne there, Jeff, and toast to the new year. There you go.
No, I don't drink champagne. I don't drink.
Well, what about beer or some scotch?
I don't drink the bubbly. Okay? I don't drink the bubbly. It does nothing for me. I pretty much don't drink no more. You know, I'm a non-drinker.
I don't drink beer. I don't drink scotch. The only thing I have is some wine. very much.
You're not a scotch drinker on the rocks?
Nope, not a scotch drinker.
What about it? What are you drinking? Manischewitz?
Yep.
Yeah.
Red or white, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Red or white. Jeez, criminy. Now let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to make it to midnight?
Yeah, I think I'll be able to make it to midnight.
You going to be able to stay up till midnight?
Bring fireworks going off and everybody celebrating the 4th of July.
4th of July? Where are you, dude?
Dude.
Because normally you're sleeping by 9 o'clock at night.
Normally I'm sleeping. Well, that's because I'm watching DVDs and stuff.
Sleeping in bed, conked out really early. When it comes to that,
I stay up late. Although we did watch Craig Ferguson together on Skype.
I know I'm gonna watch him tonight. In fact, he's got a good show planned for tonight. I'm gonna watch it. So hey, I might. You should turn your Skype on and I'll holler at you.
Yeah, jersey on.
If you're gonna be up, keep your Skype on. I'll say Happy New Year to you at midnight.
All right, I'll see if I'll be up for it. Otherwise, if not, my computer will be sleeping.
You're not going to be up because you're going to be sleeping.
You don't know that, Jeff. You're
I know
not sure if that's technically true.
Technically, you're going to be sleeping.
Browning just called that Jeff is the rat bastard.
Because you can't make it to midnight.
Well, what's the matter with going to bed early? I mean, you don't want to see the whole day shot and stuff like that. It's always good to make sure you're pacing yourself with sleep.
It's New Year's Eve, you jackass.
Of course I know it's New Year's Eve. Give me a break, but
one
you
night
know that some people can make it or some people just decide to turn in early and
one night of the year, you can't stay up till midnight. You go to bed at 12:01 for Jiminy Cricket's sakes.
It's just any other year,
Thank you.
any other year.
It's like any other night, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I agree with you the same thing. If I didn't have to stay until freaking midnight, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking unbelievable, man. There's
nothing wrong with going to bed early.
It's New Year's freaking Eve.
So it's important to get up and listen to the.
Get up! What are you getting up for? You don't gotta go to work. What are you getting up for? You don't gotta go to work.
Getting up early to watch the Roses Parade. Yeah, they always have it on television, Home and Garden TV, and you know what?
The Roses Parade?
Yeah, they always do a parade in Pasadena, California.
It's the Parade of Roses. It's not the Roses Parade.
Oh yeah, that kind of parade.
I won't watch
much
that.
Coke or something.
I won't watch that. I won't watch that.
Why not? Parades are always a lot of fun.
Parades. It's only you know what parade is? Somebody walking on the street with people standing there watching them. Parade.
I watched the Red Sox parade this year, and that was a lot of fun too, wasn't it?
Woohoo, parade. I'll give you a parade. Come on over here. I'll show you a parade. Hey, everybody, I want you to have a great New Year's. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Be super, super safe. Please be safe. I hope you enjoyed today's show of Sports World Radio. For Sean Mann, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. Have a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We will see you on Thursday. Later.
Goodbye and Happy New Year. 2014 is coming up.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon?